Hi, I'm Ryan Blair, New York Times bestselling author and serial entrepreneur. I've had $2 billion in sales and $1 billion in exits, and today I'm going to share with you some information that's going to help you become more successful as an entrepreneur. I hope you enjoy.
Every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, that most people want to do during that entire season of their life.
I don't like the word sacrifice because it's really not. You're making an investment. You're making an investment in a project, in developing yourself and building something. And yes, you're having to allocate your resources accordingly, but you're not sacrificing anything. You're making a wise investment. You know that. You know at the other end of this, you're going to make a lot of money, or you're going to be highly successful, you're going to look great in the gym, or whatever it is. So you're taking resources from one thing and you're allocating them to another. You're not really sacrificing, you're investing. Did I take time away from my son to build a company? Yes. But now I get to spend more time with my son. So was I sacrificing? No, because I knew that in his younger years that he wouldn't miss dad that much. But now that he's a teenager, I get to spend quality time with him. So was it a sacrifice? No. I invested early and often, and now I yield the rewards of those investments.
The people that come fix your house, they can't work from home, but you can? Does that seem morally right? That's messed up.
You see it as a moral issue?
Yes. It's a productivity issue, but it's also a moral issue. Look at the cars. Are people working from home here? Of course not. Building cars, servicing the cars, building houses, fixing houses, making all the things that people consume. It's messed up to assume that yes, they have to go to work, but you don't.
Frankly, I don't think he was talking to those of us who work from home. I think he was talking to his employees that want to work from home. And it's in Elon's best interest to hold morality against them, to try to drive them to work harder in his factories and in his projects. For those of us who work from home, there are remote tools that you can utilize to be effective and productive while working from home. We have a decent sized team here at AlterCall, and we've been building these remote tools so you can indeed work from home, have a team that works from home, and still be highly productive. But if you're in an environment where you have a mixed situation like Elon is, where you have some people that have to be there on the factory floor while others don't, then yes, it makes sense for him to say that he thinks it's a morality issue if people want to work from home. For those of us who work from home and we have teams that work from home, you can be highly effective and highly productive and work from home and not have a morality issue like he described. You want to know why startups are frustrating? Because a startup is the search, and searching is a pain in the ass, and it's a search for a scalable, repeatable process. So it's a search for a process that's repeatable and scalable, and that is not easy to do. It requires messaging and branding and sales and marketing and supply chain and technology and a variety of things have to be dialed in until you find the holy grail, and that is a scalable, repeatable process, and it can be frustrating. And what I realized I needed to change about my leadership was I was choosing frustration way too often. I needed to transmute my frustration into creativity. And so that's been my work as a leader and as a startup entrepreneur.
What are the biggest changes leaders and entrepreneurs will experience when they go from profit-driven to purpose-driven?
One of my mentors, Dan Gilbert, said, money doesn't lead, it follows. By choosing purpose over profit, you're basically enacting that spiritual principle. You're putting your energy on your service, on your team, your stakeholders, the environment, whatever it is that your purpose is, you're putting your energy on that, knowing that the money will follow. And if you get everyone on your team focused on that, the team will be more successful. If they're all focused on money, then everybody's gonna be focused on how much money they're making, how much money the company's making. It's a bad focus. You wanna focus on the purpose. Why was the organization created in the first place? What is its reason for being? Its reason why. All of us should be serving that mission, not serving profit or our own individual needs. You want to be on a great team, you got to get a bunch of players to put the team first, which means they got to put the purpose first. The purpose has to be above making money. Making money is going to get everyone focused on what's in it for them. If you focus on purpose, it'll get everyone focused on something bigger than themselves. What's in it for the world? What's in it for the universe? What's in it for God? What's in it for the environment? What's in it for the families that you're called to lead? What's in it for your stakeholders, your customers, your community? What's in it for something other than yourself? By focusing on profit, you're focusing on what's in it for you. When you focus on purpose, you're focusing it on what's in it for the world. And so when you put your energy into purpose, you will by default get profits, because you need those profits in order to propel your purpose. And so it's not that you're choosing one or the other, it's you're putting your sights on one, and by default you get the other.
Don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes, because you're going to make tons of mistakes. The important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up.
I think that in the absence of mistakes, you feel like giving up. Meaning when there's no mistakes going on, that's when it's boring or you're not making progress. Mistakes are feedback that you're taking risk, and you have to take calculated, appropriate risk, and you got to take it all day long in order to get the feedback necessary to build great products and great services. So if you're not making mistakes, you're not getting the feedback as to how you can grow and get better, and as a result, you're gonna feel like giving up. I think that he's absolutely correct, but I think that to take it a layer even deeper, and that is that the mistakes are giving you the feedback necessary for your growth, and the more that you're growing, the less you're gonna wanna give up.
How does music influence your leadership?
Everything is input and output. What you put into yourself, you put out. Music, content, social media, friends, family, it's all input, and then you have output. So you have to be very careful about what you put in. I take in music all the time. I love to sing. I love to read. I love to learn. I'm constantly taking things in and then putting things out. You have to learn how to dial in your input-output ratio. You put in great things, you put out great things. I'll just give you a simple framework. Life is a lot simpler than people make it out to be. You have three things. You have the way you think, the way you speak, and the way you act. If you can dial in those three things, get control of your thinking, be able to elevate your thinking, transmute negative thinking into positive thinking, cure limiting beliefs, remove fear and self-doubt, those are the thinking parts. Then your language will change, the way you speak will change. And when you learn how to speak in a conscious way and learn how to share in a conscious way, you then will take greater action. And the action that you take in your life will be more appropriate, more measured, more purposeful, and more meaningful. It starts with thinking, which leads to speaking, which leads to acting. Think, speak, act.
What is one quote that inspires you, or one principle that inspires you?
One quote or one principle, one quote or one principle inspires you. I'll give you a quote that I love from John Wooden. It's, if you don't have time to do it right, when are you gonna have time to go back and redo it? That reminds me to do things right the first time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, help boost this video. I wanna get the word out about my work, and I could use your help. Thank you so much, and God bless.